Hi, class. I hope everybody is having a wonderful week. I'm missing you a whole bunch, but I am enjoying our discussions on Blackboard. If you haven't had a chance to chime in, please make sure you do that as soon as you can. So it's basically just on that last little chunk of reading and talking about that idea of utopia spelled with an E. So that idea of utopia being something that can be a feasibility, can be real. And that's the big shift we're making in our course right now. So we're shifting from talking about, so we've talked a lot about the literature, we've talked about the history, we've talked about different attempts at utopia. And I want to shift to really thinking about how can utopia be a tool to help us create a better world? And that ties very much into this next assignment. So this Tools of Utopia assignment, where you're going to be, and originally this was going to be a partner thing. It was going to be a little more exciting and fun. And of course, being live, it would have been much more fun getting to see you guys actually, talk and all that good stuff. But in lieu of that, I'm going to be having you make videos for these presentations. And I've changed them so it's just going to be you doing the work alone. So these Tools of Utopia presentations, and that's going to be your primary focus this week, by the way. So really, if you're still working on your ideas and values, your values and visions paper, that's fine. You can get that to me sometime later this week. That's no problem. I see that as a real informal kind of paper, and you could think of it as pre-writing to your creative projects. So that'd be the best way I would think about that. So hopefully you're working on those, thinking about all these ideas of utopia, thinking about what's important to you. What does your vision of a better world look like? What are your values? What are the things that are important to you? What are things that you think need to exist in a better world? So the Tools of Utopia, and I need to get back into our discussion because we had brainstormed and I saw some fantastic lists. And again, if you haven't chimed in there, please do that here in the next day or so because I want to assign the problems folks are going to work on, what you're going to be doing. So we'll have I'm going to be compiling that list. I'll probably try to do that yet this evening or first thing tomorrow. So by end of the day tomorrow, definitely though, on discussions in the section about the brainstormed list, I will have a compiled list of all the different problems that we as a class have identified. So the Tools of Utopia presentations are basically looking at those problems and thinking and really doing some research as to how are people solving problems. That's one of the cool things about our species. For all the things that suck about human beings, and there unfortunately are a lot of things, there are also a lot of things that are wonderful about us. One of them is that for every problem, even problems that are our own fault that we've caused, there's generally somebody who's working on a solution. What I will be doing is when I make this compiled list, I'm going to ask that you choose 2 of these problems. So some different things folks have come up with are problems regarding the environment, problems regarding poverty, problems regarding water, resource use. And I'm going to ask that you pick 2. And truthfully, as you're doing this, you might be thinking about the types of problems your utopia that you're going to be, your creative project utopia is going to be working on fixing. So you might look into specific problems you're interested in or that you plan to address, or maybe even things that you came across in some of the research you've already done. I have no issue with these different assignments we're doing overlapping because I think they do. I think the things we're passionate about, the things we care about, the type of better world we would want to see, absolutely those ideas are going to overlap. So as you're doing all this research, I can definitely see overlap, and that's perfectly fine. I say if we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone, that's wonderful. So for each of those 2 problems you choose, you're going to be doing research to learn about, at least for each one of them, 2 ways. So actions, inventions, organizations, innovations, campaigns, policies, stuff, things people are doing, things people are inventing, actions people are taking, that are working on solving or alleviating those problems. So it'll be a total of 4 innovations, basically, that you're going to be doing research on. An example of a tool of utopia might be the SpaceX program, and Elon Musk and that idea he has about putting all those satellites up there and making the internet available very, very cheaply or free to the entire globe. I would say that that is a great example of a tool of utopia because it's addressing the problem of education and of lack of access to the internet, which I think at this point we could all argue is absolutely a human right, having access to the internet. This has changed humanity in a lot of ways, a lot of positive ways, honestly. And I think that we can argue at this point it is a human right. So I would argue that Elon Musk's project is a tool of utopia. He is looking at this problem of lack of access around the world and thinking of a way to solve it. And SpaceX and this satellite program that we talked about and read that article about is an example of that. So you're going to be finding 4 of these solutions, 4 of these tools of utopia. And what I will be having you hand in, this is technically a formal presentation. That said, please don't be nervous. You know we're a totally chill audience, and we're sharing cool shit here, right? You know, we're celebrating the great stuff people are doing, and that's exciting. This is good news. We're looking at problems, and we're looking at, hey, what are people doing? What are the good things people are doing? That's exciting. That's very exciting. So please look at this in that way, and don't be nervous. You're making a video. As you can see, I'm a little goofy on video, so it's okay. Don't feel awkward. I'm excited to get to learn about the research that you do here. So what you're going to hand in is an APA list of at least 4 resources. So at least 1 source for each solution or tool. Other than that, you're going to be creating a 15 to 20 minute presentation for the class. And please create it as a video. You can do this with your camera. You can do this in Zoom. If you have, you can create a PowerPoint. There are a lot of different angles you can do. You can embed video content if you would like. I do ask if you use video, and you're certainly welcome to use video. But please make sure that that video is no more than, or I should say video that's not you. Outside source video shouldn't be more than 5 minutes of this presentation. So most of it should be you or your writing or your PowerPoints or your diagrams or whatever, or you know, our slideshow. I could see putting together a set of images and talking about them, maybe talking about those resources, giving us kind of a summary of them. So you can organize it however you'd like, but think of it as a teaching opportunity. So you're going to teach us about these 4 different solutions that you found. Make sure you do have some visual components. So show us some images, show us what people are doing. Let us see this stuff so we get a nice concrete idea. And like I said, video content is okay, just no more than 5 minutes of outside source material anyway. Upload this video to Blackboard under the discussion forum that's labeled Tools of Utopia. So, and once all of these are uploaded, please plan to watch all of these videos that everyone has created and plan to leave a comment. So some kind of response or reply. And certainly be taking note of things that are interesting or maybe are relevant to your creative project, because I will be asking that everybody use at least 1 of these tools of utopia, one of these researched solutions that you see in these presentations. I'll ask that you use at least 1 in your creative project. So as you're constructing your ideal world, you're creating this, whether it's through a story or a set of poems or songs or whatever, or artwork or mural or whatever, please make sure you're planning to incorporate some of this these researched tools of utopia. And so as you're watching, be taking some notes and thinking about, hey, what might work? What could you incorporate? And the way I see it is, it's going to give our utopias, our creative projects, an edge of realism. an edge of feasibility, because yes, you're creating stuff. Yes, it might be a little bit out there, but I want you to incorporate something that's real, something that's actually people are doing. And then that's going to kind of give your utopia this realism, this feasibility. It's going to maybe make it more of an e-utopia as opposed to a u-utopia. So be thinking about that as you're working on these tools of utopia. Again, plan on, as we're watching this, we're gonna be feeling a little more hopeful about the world. Let's face it, we need this right now too. Times are kind of dark. Times are a little scary. This is all very hard. I miss you guys like crazy. So think of this as a way to feel hopeful, to think about what are people doing, what good things are happening in the world right now. There are so many, and I know the news doesn't show us that stuff, and that's why I feel this project is so important. People are doing great things out there to make the world a better place, so you're going to be honoring what they're doing in creating these presentations. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to post those to our question forum. Otherwise, hopefully I'll get to see you guys at our live chat on Wednesday. That'll be through Collaborate Ultra. I certainly love seeing your faces, hearing your voices. So I would hopefully you'll be able to be there. That'll be 2 to 4 this Wednesday. Other than that, have a fantastic evening. Stay safe, stay healthy, and until next time.